Okay, so we're off on another adventure today, but not just me, I have...
Me! Again!
Yes, my good friend Amanda is with me today also. And where are we going?
Whidbey Island.
Whidbey Island, that's right. We're going to actually Ebey's Landing.
Ebey's?
Ebey's.
Ebey.
E-B-E-Y.
That
place. And we're going to walk along the high bluff and have a nice lagoon, and it's on the beach. And it's actually on the Straits of San de Fuca. It's F-U-C-A, so pronounce that how you want, folks. But it's basically it's an elbow that looks up the straits and takes you straight to the Pacific Ocean. And it's in a rain shadow. So normally the weather when it's raining in Seattle or further north up at Bellingham is always nice and sunny here. So we should get some sun and we should get some fantastic views. So we're about to board on a ferry that will take us there. So stay tuned for that. On the ferry here today, just looking back at the new pier here. So this is actually the new ferry location. This is actually just opened within the last 2 years, probably a year and a half. And we're actually, this is part of the Puget Sound, and what you're looking at up there is Everett, the port of Everett. And looking much further up towards Bellingham, behind the big tanker up there. And then this over here is actually Whidbey Island we're actually going to. And that's where we're going to today. And you can see we're actually part of a rain shadow. We'll talk about that more later, but you can see there's actually blue sky above us, and then there's clouds to this side, and there's also clouds to the other side. And that's due to a very well-known geographic topological event, and I'll tell you about that later.
In addition to routinely cleaning our ferries and terminals and working with health officials to help close the spread of COVID-19 coronavirus, we remind you that face coverings are mandatory in all public indoor and outdoor spaces in Washington, including Washington State.
Quite a large ferry, this. And if I move over to the other side here, see the lighthouse.
Those of you who drove home from the ferry, WSF, watching the passengers who are able, please remain in your vehicles.
There we go. So super. So once again you can see there's a cloud formation here with blue sky above us. So we're actually in what's known as a rain shadow here, and we'll actually see it better once we get onto Whidbey Island. And we'll go out onto the bow of the ship. Beautiful day. Absolutely like glass. Wow. It's like glass today. So there actually is a pod of orcas that comes down here also. And what a beautiful day. I live in a super area. And we have a little lighthouse off towards the end here. Just cool. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So a ferry there. Fantastic. Just love this ride. This boat journey. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now travelling off the other side of the ferry, and one of the things you actually find here is that we have a lot of eagles, bald eagles here, and actually on the towers, on these radio antennae towers, you'll actually notice at the top of that one, there's one on the top, right up there.
There is. That was good timing.
And that's one of the things we find here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You actually put them on top of them all. So those bald eagles in America, you know, made the resurgence. At one point, they were actually going to become extinct due to all the chemicals they used in the agriculture across America. And what it done was it made the eggs so thin that none of the eggs of the birds would actually they're all stillborn. So once they killed that DDT, which is major cause of it, they've made a complete resurgence, and bald eagles over here in America now are as common as magpies. As back in Scotland.
Are they?
Yeah. Are you cold? Amanda's a wee bit cold. Yeah. Yes, she is. Ready for your little hike? So we're now actually at, it's called Ebey's Landing. Ebey's Landing. And we're actually going to go up in this bluff up here and walk along it and then down. So this is the Admiralty Inlet, is where we currently are on Whidbey Island. And Whidbey Island is this island here. It's actually, there's a bridge at the top here called Deception Pass, and we're actually at this point right here on the map, which is actually quite amazing. But we do get a lot of fantastic wildlife here, and hopefully we might see some. But we're going to go for a walk along this fantastic beach.
It's going to be really cold.
No, it's going to be fine. So we're now actually walking up the bluff, Amanda and myself, aren't we? It seems to be a northeast. See, actually a northeast wind, not northwest wind. Well, I'll flip it around and you'll just get an idea. Just walking up towards that clump of trees up there. This is the Admiralty Inlet. Looking around, and the mountains away in the distance over there is the Olympic Peninsula. And then looking further down here, down towards south, towards like Seattle area. And the bluff, and Fort Casey is the little area with the houses in the distance, and we can see the car parked down here. Beautiful. So as we're walking up this bluff, I'll tell you a little bit about this area. So as I said, I actually fly paragliders, and we actually used to take off from here. This is called Ebey's Landing, in this section of the bluff. As you can see, it's a nice beach area to land, and it's not far from where the cars are parked. But we actually did get complaints from the neighbours here in this particular farm across here, that it spoiled their view with having paragliders flying here. So just south of the, at that bluff up there behind it, is actually an outlying airport for the Oak Harbour Naval Base, which is further up the coast here. And there was actually pressure put on them, a big meeting we had here many years ago, to basically ban paragliders from flying here, and they actually won. So we're not actually allowed to fly paragliders off this section anymore. However, as we're coming up to this, there's a nature reserve up here, which is owned by a different organisation from here. This is called Ebey Reserve, and over the other side of this fence is they have no jurisdiction, so you can't actually fly up here. It's a small plane. You can't actually fly up here or hike up here, and over the other side of this fence, walk along further and launch, which I've done in the past. Of course, the people across this other side probably maybe not want you flying here either, so it has sort of fallen out of use over the years. But if you do come here and you want to fly a paraglider, just actually climb over this fence we're coming up to and walk along, and we'll show you where I've launched from before, and This is an alternative launch to Fort Ebey launch, which is further around the corner. And what's nice about this launch is that when the wind is blowing from the south, southwest, straight south, you can actually launch from here. So there you go, a little bit of tidbit news for you. So here we're actually coming up to leaving. Leaving State Parks property, and now into the nature conservations. How would you pronounce this word?
Conservation?
Nope, that's conservancy.
Yeah.
Nature conservancy. Can get that right there. But we're on this Bluff trail, parking here, and then walking up here, and it's just a 3.5 mile loop. It's not big, but it's very good. So it's nice. And let's actually talk about the dry and fragile bluff, added because of the rain shadow cast by the Olympic Mountains, supports and peril plants around this area. So now we can talk about the rain shadow here. So if you actually look out, we'll see down here we have a complete set of clouds hugging the Olympic Peninsula down there. And the Pacific Ocean is beyond there. And further north up here, away the distance might just be perceivable, is actually Canada. And in between that is the Straits of San Fuca. You can see there's a ship on the horizon coming in. But you'll notice that the clouds actually hug both sides. And what happens is generally this is a rain shadow area, so it becomes quite dry. So it can be raining really hard in Seattle, and it can be lovely and good nice weather here, like we have today. So we just crested the top. So we just crested the top of the hill there. But if you do bring a paraglider here, this is actually just in front of Amanda here, is one of the launches I use flowing off from here. And it's actually easy enough, it's not a big problem. Generally, of course, you need some wind. So the problem is sometimes you might get pushed, dragged back a little bit into this tree, which happened the first time because the wind was a bit stronger. But you can see it's a sort of, you can easily lay your wing here and then stand here and then launch off anywhere in this area. It's actually pretty simple. The time I tried it, I was strike strongish the wind, so I actually set my wing up here at this point, and I get brought up and I got to the path and I launched off the path. So yeah, easily doable, folks, if you want to fly a paraglider. Not today, the wind is the wrong direction. And one of the key things to keep your eye out here is for white caps on the sea, which is approximately 10 knots of wind. It can go very strong here, the wind and the heartbeat. And during the spring and in the fall, especially winter, it can go from a nice quiet like this to 30-40 mile an hour winds within like 5 minutes. Nope. And where this walk goes on the bluff now is this is a lagoon, it's brackish water. High tide, the water overflows from the sea and fills up this and then recedes. But as you go along here, the trail just goes along and it drops you down, and you actually walk back along the side of that lagoon. And it's nice to actually fly your paraglider across here, so hopefully I'll get some video. I'll probably intersperse some old video I have of flying down here and just show you what it's like from the air, because it is actually pretty spectacular. Oh, lovely view now of the lovely. There we go. And we can walk it down here. Perfect. There you go. Lovely. Walking this high bluff. What do you think, lassie?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yes, yes. Beautiful. Amanda's behind me. See? There we go. There's Amanda there. Hi. And then we can see looking back. So we're now actually just on a descent down towards the beach along this section of road here, which is pretty cool. Used to be a shorter path back there, but it's actually been boarded off for restoration purposes. And a lot of this bluff does get eroded during the winters here when the wind is blowing. There we go, there's Amanda there. Hi! And then we can see looking back. So we're now actually just on a descent down towards the beach along this section of road here, which is pretty cool. There used to be a shorter path back there, but it's actually been boarded off for restoration purposes. And a lot of this bluff does get eroded during the winters here when the wind is blowing. You can't get to 40-50 mile an hour winds blowing down here, so there's a lot of erosion, especially if it gets a lot of rain. But there we go. So we're now actually walking along. There we go. So we're now actually walking along the lagoon area, which is pretty cool. And this camera's having problems tracking me, I think. Or maybe not. But yeah, so it's actually pretty cool out here. Not too bad, not too shabby. I'll turn it around and give you a show. Yeah, this thing's not following me here for some reason. Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't following me there for a while. Amanda's on a mission. I'll throw you around. She's on a mission. She's way ahead of me here. And you can see the walking along here. It's cool. Brackish water. The sun's about to come out. So that's nice. There we go. Walk the plank. There we go. Walk the plank. Walk the plank. Oh. Yeah. What's oh? Oh, maybe. How are you going to get down now? Oh! Now walking along back. Now walking along back along the beach. Now walking back along the beach, which is pretty cool. Back towards the car park. It's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Just lovely. It's crazy. Crazy! You can see Amanda's up there and there's the high bluff I've actually walked along. It's only a 3.5 mile loop, but thoroughly recommended if you ever come out to the Seattle area. It's nice to get out into the island